Okay, so I'm glad we're getting into this because I know some people get weird, even people that are into weird stuff whenever you talk about LOA stuff and I think that's a real shame.
Law of attraction.
Yeah,
You're talking
yeah,
here. Yeah.
exactly. And so I see it as like three levels of acceptance of what I've kind of intuited where we're at as a society. The first step is the complete skeptic, where your thoughts don't matter at all. We're completely materialistic robots, no brains interacting whatsoever. Then the second step is like, yeah, positive thinking probably helps because it probably gets you into a state where you're more willing to take action, you're more willing to do this and that, and you can kind of, but it's probably still contained, it's still not whatever. And then there's kind of the level of acceptance where it's like, no, our thoughts vibrate and radiate out and connect with all that is and everyone else and everything else. And it's there, it's actually how it works. That's actually the nature of reality. And I think it's probably good to not count out that last one I just said. That's probably how it is, and it's probably, and if you accept that as a belief structure, belief system, and try and work with that, like you said, the seed thing and the appreciation and make that as your substrate for your whole mind, that'll probably create some miracles in your life, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
The thing that you were just talking about, one of the things that's a problem for
Mm-hmm.
people is that most of us, I certainly was, and most of my clients grew up with belief systems that we think are what the world is, but it's really the belief systems that we inherited from whoever we were around, usually the adults or older siblings or teachers or coaches or doctors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we get these belief systems, and our brains in the first, I'd say from sometime in utero, up until around 6 or 7 years old, we're in what's called a hypnagogic trance, meaning
Mm.
we're in hypnosis the first 6 or 7 years of life.
Yeah.
And in utero. So little kids, when you're carrying a baby, that baby can hear. That's their primary. They can hear and they can feel.
Mm-hmm.
And sound is a vibration.
Yeah.
So is light. And so when a baby is hearing mom and dad talking about how beautiful each other is and what they love about each other and how great this experience is or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that baby's going to get all these good hormones from mom, and it's going to get these vibrations that are kind of harmonious with its physiology.
Mm.
If you have a mom that's carrying the baby and the mom is stressed out, she's working too much, she doesn't feel good physically, she's the husband and the wife are fighting, or the husband's gone, and then maybe she's got somebody, a mother or somebody helping her who's not, or no one helping her, like all of these things. So this baby, even in utero,
Yeah.
is going to be getting her cortisol, which is a stress agent, her adrenaline, which is a stress agent. And what cortisol and adrenaline do for when in utero is it makes the little baby's body go into stiffness, like, because it's fight or flight, but there's nowhere to go because he's in a womb, right?
Yeah.
He's in a womb. And so their body gets, all the blood flow goes to the legs and the hands. Same with everybody. When you get angry, or when you get, your hands and your feet, fight or flight.
Yeah.
And so then what happens is, what doesn't get the funding is the brain, is the digestion, is the heart. So these areas, they don't get the funding that you want. And so a lot of people grow up with belief systems that they think are what reality is, but they can't see it because it's subconscious.
Yeah.
And so they have subconscious belief systems. So some of the things that, like what I do with my clients, and I think I've talked about it in for sure my books, those belief systems attract stuff to you. So people can do a focus that's positive, but if they're not paying attention, there will be a loop in their brain that is from something that usually happened, decades before, depending on how old they are. And that loop is going on, and it might not be a loop that's serving you. And can I give you one story to show you this?
Absolutely, please.
So this one client, she bought a used car and she loved it. It was really cute. Then there was a big rain, and all the inside of the car got wet, like really wet, and she couldn't get the water out. And she had had something done to the car between when she bought it and when the rain happened at this place. So she went to that place and said, "Can you help me?" And they looked at the car and they're like, "No, we didn't do anything. It's not our fault." So she went back to the dealership and they said, "It's past the 30 days. You can't do anything." So she was panicking because it was, it's not healthy to have water sitting in your car.
No,
Um,
no, sure
so
isn't.
she was panicking, and she was in this in the we were on Zoom together, and she was saying how no one was helping her. She was just getting this thing, and all of a sudden I remember, because I do a really thorough intake of people before we
Mm-hmm.
get together. When she was 5, her cousin had sexually abused her, and when she told her mom and her aunt, all her mom and her aunts all laughed at her.
Yeah.
And they made fun of her and they shamed her, and she's 5 and the cousin was older. And so we healed that subconscious programming that no one can help her.
Yeah.
The next day she gets a call from the insurance. "Hey, we're going to give you a rental car for another 30 days. That had been working. They helped her for 30 days, and now 30 days were up. They're giving her a new rental car. Right after that, she gets a call from not the dealership, but the car place who had done something to the car. And the guy says, "Look, I don't know what this is, but you're going to be my case. I'm going to make sure we solve this. I will help you." Then the car company calls and says, "Look, if you haven't gotten this taken care of, if there's no way to get it taken care of, we'll work something out with you. We'll figure it out." And so she couldn't believe all we did was heal the trauma from when she was 5, and the rental car, the car shop, and the car dealership all responded within 12 hours.
Wow. So you have to be courageous enough to dig into that old stuff and release it. And then
but part of the issue is that it's normal to you.